Hello everyone, I'm Jack Fisher and welcome to my world. And ever since I started this channel, I've posed numerous thought experiments about the future, especially with respect to artificial intelligence. Now it may just be the sci-fi fan in me, but I tend to believe that AI will be the most important technological advancement we can ever make. Now I'm not among those who claim it'll solve all our problems, nor am I one who thinks it'll destroy humanity a la Skynet. But I do believe it will significantly change how we live our lives, more so than TV, the internet, or the smartphone. That belief, as well as the concerns surrounding it, has been picking up a lot of steam lately. With the rise of ChatGPT and the mainstreaming of other AI-related tools, we're already seeing the emergence of wholly new industries. I've even been lucky enough to test some of these tools, and it's really not difficult to imagine them being very disruptive to many industries' ideas and assumptions. Hell, it's already happening in some, affecting certain industries a lot more than others. But for this video, I'd like to focus on how AI has and most likely will disrupt the entertainment industry. I feel that's a lot more pressing because we're already seeing signs of that disruption. And that disruption actually began long before the WGA and Screen Actors Guild strikes of the summer of 2023. Because even if all entertainment is just art on some levels, well, you could make the case that AI has already disrupted that. You've probably heard about AI-generated art. And it's basically what it sounds like. You enter some text into a prompt, describe an image in so many words, and an AI creates that image for you. They can be simple and basic, like a simple landscape or a generic person, but they can also be really elaborate, crafting complex, fanciful images. If you have an internet connection and you can type, you can use these tools to create the kind of artwork that most could never create on their own. And as someone who cannot draw worth a damn, I can attest to the capabilities of these tools. I've actually used a number of them. Some of the stock art in this video came from images that I created with those tools. I won't say they're masterpieces, nor should we expect them to be. And given how new these programs are, we can't expect them to look too polished. But make no mistake, that will change. That's not a prediction either. That is a certainty. In the coming years, AI-generated art won't just look more professional. In some cases, it may look indistinguishable from real photographs and high-quality renderings. This kind of artwork won't take teams of skilled graphic designers and computer programmers working hours a day with high-cost software. It'll only require ordinary people typing text into a prompt and getting similar results within seconds. That has already affected so many industries, from graphic design to crafting stock footage to basic content creation. And that disruption will only escalate once this technology integrates into creating videos, voices, and sound effects. There are already tools that exist now that can create basic videos, as well as voice narrations that sound very human. And I can personally attest to the quality of AI voice narration. It really is remarkable, and even a little eerie, just how human they sound. And that does not bode well for voice actors, or celebrities with famous voices for that matter. Many actors and writers are already voicing major concerns about this technology, and not just because it could put them out of a job. It could also lead other people to using their voices for less than ethical projects. Just look at what's going on with deepfakes. But I don't want to get too caught up in issues like that. Yes, they are important and they will become more complicated in the coming years as AI technology improves. But while other people much smarter than me confront those issues, I want to look a bit further ahead. I want to contemplate the larger ramifications of this technology once it's refined. And in doing so, I want to speculate on how it'll impact entertainment and the companies that provide it. So in that spirit, imagine the following scenario. The year is 2045. After decades of refinement and development, AI tools have become very capable. With just a few prompts, or by way of a direct brain interface, these programs can render detailed images, videos, and sounds with ease. Anyone with spare time and internet connection and a little effort can create detailed movies and shows, each at a quality that is indistinguishable from the kind of content that was created 25 years ago. While traditionally produced content still exists, it's very niche and a much smaller part of the entertainment industry. But that industry is still dominated by companies like Disney, Netflix, Paramount, and Warner Brothers. They maintain ownership of large catalogs of intellectual property, ranging from iconic cartoon characters to famous actors and their voices, both alive and deceased. But instead of producing the content themselves, they essentially license that content on a limited basis directly to the customers. For a small fee, be it a one-time cost or a subscription, an individual can essentially use a company's property to craft whatever movie, TV show, cartoon, or comic they wish. The only major restriction is that they cannot share or distribute it without explicit permission. And should they misuse this intellectual property, they would be subject to serious fines. But the end result of this model is that users can effectively create endless amounts of content, all tailored directly to their tastes. Through vast networks of AI-powered tools, individuals can create their own Marvel Cinematic Universe, their own Pixar movies, or even their own string of Die Hard sequels. And with every piece of media a user creates, the larger AI learns more and more about them, and is better able to refine the process, so much so that eventually users don't need to input much directly. The system already knows what the user likes and will continue providing more and more of it, provided they keep paying the necessary licensing fee. And to ensure their catalog of intellectual property doesn't stagnate, major studios carefully analyze this content with their own AI tools. With it, they create their own catalog of movies, TV shows, and various media, all shared and distributed through traditional media mechanisms. But the intent is no longer to make billions of dollars at the box office. The intent is just to keep making new characters and franchises that can be further licensed for more money. Now, to some, that scenario sounds like a hyper-corporatized dystopian nightmare. And I get that to some extent. The idea of these big, powerful, profit-seeking companies controlling so much of our entertainment, it definitely has its drawbacks. I don't want to dwell too much on the politics of modern media companies. I'll just say that they are very flawed and have been for much of Hollywood's history. But I don't believe this vision is quite as dystopian as it might seem. If nothing else, it offers a future in which entertainment is more personalized and democratized. But it's certainly not ideal in that it is ripe for exploitation by companies with resources, lawyers, and no qualms about casting aside their workers. And to some extent, I think it reflects current trends regarding what consumers and producers of entertainment media are following. Sites like YouTube, Amazon, and TikTok already use complex algorithms to create curated, customizable content for their users. Now, this practice does draw plenty of criticism. I've heard more than one person comment just how addictive TikTok can be, always feeding their users with more and more content. But at the end of the day, it's still built around people seeking entertainment. And like it or not, companies and corporations are going to cater to that, as well as exploit the hell out of it. You can be as critical of capitalism as you want. You can hate big corporations all you want. And believe me, they earn that hate. But like any company within any system, they'll need to adapt to changing technology. And if they don't, they'll disappear, plain and simple. But for us, the customers, the workers, and the creators behind all this entertainment, if we don't play a role in managing this system, we'll all be left behind as an afterthought. And regardless of where we stand on how things are now, we have to remember that fighting new technology almost never works out. Movie theaters tried to fight the VCR and they failed. Horse and buggy makers tried to fight the car and they failed. Newspapers tried to fight the internet and they failed. That means that there will be a transition with this technology, and we're already in the middle of it. And it won't be pleasant for a lot of people. Right now, the entertainment industry employs thousands of people: actors, actresses, artists, technicians, writers, directors, and all the unpaid interns and assistants that support them. a lot of them would be out of work under the scenario I just laid out, reduced largely to extremely niche media, not unlike the market for vinyl records. And when large swaths of people suddenly find themselves out of work or their expertise suddenly obsolete, that is going to cause problems. Those people will have to adapt too, and unlike the multi-billion-dollar corporations that cast them aside, it'll be much more difficult. Now, I don't claim to know how the future entertainment industry will deal with these issues. And I surely don't claim to know how quickly AI technology will advance, or if it'll even be capable of producing the scenario I just laid out. But I am confident in saying that the AI technology we have now is very nascent. Like the early video game consoles of the late 1980s, they offer only a glimpse of what's possible. Not long from now, what we're using today may one day be akin to the graphics we saw on the first Super Mario Bros. Game on the Nintendo Entertainment System. Only time will tell, but if there's money to be made, and if there's a never-ending appetite for entertainment, this technology will affect the future of that industry. And the studios we know and love/hate today will find a way to keep profiting from it. And if they don't, someone like them will. It's just a matter of what role we, the consumers, hope to play. Thanks for watching, everyone, and thanks for joining me in my world. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and until next time, take care and stay safe.